What's up?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Man, blessed. I'm blessed. What's going on with you?
Not much. Just kind of
Uh-oh.
listen to what you teach and the words you give about wisdom and about being in the industry and getting into the industry. So yeah, like I said, I'm new, uh, brand new to this. I'm down in Brownsville, Texas, um, considering starting with a cargo van, but I'm not quite sure if with the tariffs and everything that's going on, if now's a good time to get in the industry. I'm trying to prepare. Got my LLC, got my EIN, shopping for a cargo van right now. Um, Trying to see what load boards I can see to see what's moving. Uh, just trying to check in a couple of chats on Facebook to see what's going on and stuff like that. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to see in an area where small industry, Brownsville's not a very busy town. Um,
Where's that
I
close
don't
by?
speak. The next biggest city is Corpus Christi, and it's about 2 hours. So after that, it's San Antonio and Houston, and they're both about 4 hours apiece.
What would you finna say after that? You don't speak Spanish?
I don't speak Spanish, and being in Brownsville, cost of living is low. I hit you on Facebook with a quick message. Like I know you did a lot of moving.
Hmm.
I'm 52. I'm a little beat up, so moving is just not real possible. One, my physically can't do it, and I don't
Hmm.
think I'll be able to compete with the rates. You got people coming across the border, hiring people that, they're making money in Texas, they're going back across the border. I can't speak the lingo, and I don't think I can compete. Long distance, man, I'm tired military. I don't know how many deployments I got. I'll leave, go home over road for a night or two here and there, but to be out all week, month long, if that's what it takes to make money, I'm just not going to do it. I'm a federal employee also. I know, they got deferred resignation and stuff, and if I'm taking a deferred resignation, so I'll be out 1 June because if I don't, chances are they're probably going to lay me off anyway. Um, so I'm trying to look in, get in the business, see if I can make a little money. If I get more demand, then I'll expand the business. But if it's just me, making a little extra bread on the side, then I'll do that.
So you said you're not willing to go over the road for periods at a time? That's what is that what I heard correctly?
That is correct.
So what did you want to do with the cargo van? Local work?
Regional, local, yeah, regional, local. If I gotta go out, like I'm in Brownsville, if I gotta go to Dallas, which is 8 9 hours, go up there, do a load, and then hopefully get something on the way back. Loads, I can do a day or two, but to be out for all week, come back on the weekends.
Okay, so cargo van when you're going like over the road like that, it's expedited. Those guys that are really making money in a cargo van, they're gone. That's why they have their little pallet in the back of the van, and they're and not only are they gone, they're driving. Their drives are a lot more strenuous than like a box truck or a semi truck driver because they don't fall under the regulations as far as like the hours of service. So that's why it's expedited. They have to get stuff to where it needs to be in a certain period of time. So those wheels on those cargo vans, they be rolling. This guys that are expedited cargo van guys in my Discord, and they're always in a Discord talking to each other, keeping each other woke, and like they're always driving. They always got their cameras on. It's like they're always driving. They're making money, but that's what it takes to make money going over the road in a cargo van. I mean, there's local work you can do, but I don't know what you're looking like when you say local. Like what do you need a day out of a van for you to be satisfied, and then I could tell you if it's feasible or not feasible.
When you say day, you mean like money wise?
Correct.
I'm looking at if I could make 300 in a day,
You
I'd be
could
okay with that. That's
you
1,500 a week.
you could do that locally, but where you're at, I don't know if those opportunities exist. If you're in that small town, that's something that you could do like small parcel stuff locally, which you can potentially earn that depending on what the piece counts are in your market. But those opportunities are you're going to catch those probably near Dallas, San Antonio, near Houston, Austin. You said Brownsville. That's a small town. I don't know if those opportunities would exist there. Those are more up towards the more metropolitan areas. Because, like you said, Corpus Christi, right? And how far is that from where you're at?
It's 2 hours, so that'd be 2 hours deadhead.
Whew. And that's the next biggest city, Corpus Christi. And what's the
Hmm.
population there?
I don't know. I don't know. I know here
Oh,
I'm 180,000 here, so population in Brownsville is not bad.
well,
Um,
well, what does your 3PLs look like in Brownsville?
I'm not sure. I do a search and I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at. I
Let
get
me
on the
ask you
internet and look
this.
for
Let me ask you
3PLs.
this. Let's do this. When you get Amazon, you order packages from Amazon.
Hmm.
Does Amazon deliver or does the post office deliver your Amazon packages?
Post office and
Okay.
UPS.
All right. It's the post office and UPS. All right. So you just answered your own question. There's no
Okay.
if Amazon doesn't have a domicile in your area and they're outsourcing to UPS and the post office, then you're in a real small town. I doubt if there's any other 3PLs in the area as
Okay.
well.
I was in McAllen, Texas a couple weekends ago. It was on a Sunday, and it's about an hour from me. And I did see a guy delivering Amazon packages, and he was in a ProMaster.
An hour from you, but that
Hmm.
if it's 2 hours for you to the next major town, that means it's an hour where you saw that guy probably from that town, right?
Uh, so it's Brownsville, and then McAllen would be an hour, and an hour from McAllen would be Corpus Christi. So,
Okay.
but
So
I don't consider McAllen a big town, but it's busier than Brownsville.
so what I'm saying is where you saw that Amazon van, it was closer to Corpus Christi, right? Than where you are, right?
It's about the middle. It's about the middle mark.
So in between, right?
Hmm.
So that's possible because they'll probably send a DSP that distance. They're not going
Hmm.
to send them 2 hours. So there's a radius that they send out. So if it goes beyond that radius, then that's when they outsource to UPS and the post office. That's why I asked you when you get your. That's how I can measure. That's how I was able to measure how big or how small or what's in your market based on that question. So if UPS and the post office are delivering your Amazon packages, then there's probably no other 3PLs out there. So when you get stuff from 3PLs, let's say like furniture or something, it would be a company coming from Corpus Christi 2 hours out to do a small route in your market. So those smaller packages are going to be outsourced to the post office. So you would need to go up to probably Corpus Christi to get like a local dedicated daily route. You're not going to find something like that in your area. The population is just not big enough for them to build an infrastructure in that area. It's not feasible.
Okay. One other question. Uh, Chamber of Commerce. What do you think about getting in the Chamber of Commerce? Networking because a lot of small. They kind of support small businesses, and it might be small businesses who are looking to get stuff delivered, maybe regional, local, maybe up north Texas. And
I
Brownsville, they're trying to grow.
I can't speak for your chamber of commerce. I could tell you mine didn't do nothing for me. The alderman didn't do shit. And I had a bunch of felons working for me, and they. But I don't
Okay.
know. You down there. I'm in Chicago. Everything up here is corrupt. You got degrees,
Well,
palms. So
I'm not by the border town, so you got cartel, a rock throw away, really.
yeah.
But
But
Brownsville's
from
pretty
from
good.
from the political standpoint, as far as the chamber of commerce, I've never dealt with them for resources. But well, what you're saying, I guess you're talking about like local type of government contracting type of work. Uh, I'm gonna be honest with you, and don't take this the wrong way. If you're on the new, when you get to government contracting, that's a whole that's a whole nother conversation. And on the new, it's probably something that you probably won't be able to source. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, being new to the industry, I get it. You probably want a couple years under your belt.
because you don't have the systems in place when you're dealing with that type of stuff. Because you're going to be a prime or you're going to subcontract. So if you're going to be the prime and go out and get the contract, you still got to subcontract it out to the company that has the systems in place, right? The vehicles and the manpower.
Mm-hmm.
Governments, when municipalities, they just don't deal with a bunch of individuals with one van. They find people that can find a group of people, or you are a person who has systems already in place to meet the needs of whatever they're requiring. So
Okay. All right. Well, keep doing my research, and then see if I can pull the trigger here in the next month or two. You know,
based on where
keep
you at,
checking the
you're gonna have
market.
to based on where you at, you're gonna have to hit the road though. Ain't you in a small little market, so local workers, if Amazon is not in your market, then that pretty much tells the tale of how small your market is. So
Mm-hmm.
local small parcel work is probably, I wouldn't recommend getting a van to do gig work, especially if your market is that small as well. So you're gonna have to hit the road.
Give me OTR.
Yeah, you're just not in a market where it's just, there's work plentiful. It's a small market. Amazon is not even in your market. They're
Yeah.
outsourcing to UPS and to the post office. So I mean, that's your market analysis right there. That's why I
Mm.
asked you. I just did your market analysis for you.
Man. All right. I appreciate you, brother.
You gotta move to the big
Yeah.
city.
That's not happening. You keep it in Chicago, man. No, uh,
You
I'm
just gotta
good
hit the
down here.
you just gotta hit the road. You just gonna have to hit the road. You say you don't want to hit the road though. So that's a
Mm-mm.
conversation that you gotta have with yourself on, yeah,
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm with you. It is what it is, you know.
Yep.
All right, man.
So
I appreciate you. Keep keeping it real. I like the videos and you know telling the truth. Sometimes it's hard to hear, but sometimes the truth is hard to hear.
appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
All
God
right, man. Be
bless.
safe. God bless you, man.
All right. Thanks.